So again, take a bathroom break. We'll wait till you come back. You won't miss anything. But you know, I don't get enough jabs in on them enough, so I'm not even going to do it because people get mad like, hey, you can't talk about our coach like that. So I'll leave him alone. 269 wins, 8 straight conference championships, 2 Final Fours, and 1 national championship. So just been perfect coach for us. Been a great deal. It's 10th year. It's crazy. 10th year here. So you know, I'm sure I'll talk at length about Perry Ellis, Wichita guy, and got another one coming up later. So he's doing well down here. He's doing well up there. So give it up for Bill Self.
Doing great today. You know, I wasn't going to say anything about Gurley, but I thought Bonnie actually reminded me of Greg Gurley during her talk. I mean, you guys saw Greg play in college. Unfortunately, you did. But what I thought when she said, she was talking about Angel Goodrich, and she said that she was smart and could pass. You're neither one of those at all. At all. We did a talk last night. We're talking about academic reform and everything. Gurley chimes in because now kids that have a 2-3 are going to have to make a 1080 on the SAT to qualify beginning in 2016, which is really disproportionate to the way it should be. Right now, you got to make a 900 if you have a 2-3. In 2016, you got to make a 1080. I asked Gurley what he made, and he said 780. So he wasn't even qualified to be on the panel. Minimum was 800. You had to be on the panel, but be there. But no, hey, we love coming down here. Bonnie and I go to Wichita. The people down here have been so generous to our athletic department, obviously. And there's many of you here today. We certainly appreciate that and everything that you do for us. I'm extra excited about coming to Wichita because I get to talk about one of your very own. And pretty soon I'll get to talk about 2 of your very own. I can't talk about one yet, but hey, you be proud of Perry. Perry is doing great. I don't ever tell Perry he's doing great, but I'll tell you that he's doing great. If you watched him play, he's always been a guy with me that after you watched him play, you leave wanting more. You leave wanting more. If you got 25 and 15, you should have got 35 and 20. If you got 20 and 10, you should have got 25 and 50, whatever it is. And he's just now starting to really get it. Because he tries hard. It's not from trying hard. It's just that passionate play on every possession. He's starting to get that. When he really gets that, he's good. Because the kid can't score. He won't shoot 70% like Carolyn because I'm not smart enough to get the ball in those areas. But he can make baskets. And the other day, his plays average, and once he get 15 and 16 minutes, I mean, it's just nothing. So excited about him. Did you guys get a chance to see us play the other day? Yeah. I don't know. We beat Emporia State. So my son got in the game. So there's. But you know what? I do think we're going to have a fun team. I think we're fast. And we're athletic, and we got a little bit more depth, or a lot more depth than we had last year. But you know, I don't think people should be too giddy about us because we got to play so many young kids. And to be honest, the key to our team though will be our seniors. If Elijah can run the show comparable to the way that Ty did, and if Jeff Withy can play to his length and size, and that's the 2 biggest keys to the team. I think Ben, Perry, Jamari, and Kevin and Travis, I think we know what we're going to get with those guys, but those 2 guys have to play at a different level than what they played at so far. So it'll be fun, it'll be exciting. It should be a good group. We get tested right off the bat, as you guys know. The 13th, I guess we play Michigan State, and you know, those beat the crap out of it. So I don't know if they fouled every possession. It's ridiculous how it is on the place. But hopefully. You know, our team will be tough enough for that. Then we'll go to Ohio State right after that. So we're going to find out how good we are playing, you know, 2 top 10 teams. it should be a fun year. It should be a fun year. Last year, I came in, when we talked last year, I don't know what I told you guys. I'm sure I was brutally honest, because I would never be anything other than that. But I probably told you guys we're not any good. And you know, we'll have a chance and all that stuff. And I really meant that. You know, even last year, I mean, now I look back, that's still one of the worst teams we've had. But we had a couple of studs. And I don't know if people really realize how good those two were. Tyshawn Taylor, to me, was off the charts good. You know, he was fun to coach. No, Ty was one of my most fun kids to ever coach because he had emotion. I love kids with emotion. And he was emotional, and that's the biggest attribute, was probably his biggest negative. But when he channels that right, he's just terrific. He had an unbelievable year last year. I don't know if you realize he averaged 18 games in the league last year. And then, of course, Thomas was a star from the get-go, and what a stud. And so this team will not be like that team at all, because that team had no depth, but we had two stars. And Bonnie said something that's really true. That team liked each other a lot. And it's easy to kind of like each other when you know you're going to play. It's not as much fun if you got 13 guys and they're only going to play 8. 5 of them are happy because they think they're getting screwed because they're better than the guys they're playing. And that's what brings good chemistry. And last year, the guys that didn't play knew they weren't any good. So I really think that'll be a challenge. You know, getting our guys to really buy and like each other. Because in practice, everybody's happy because you always have 10 playing. You know, in the game, you only have 5 playing. So it'll be a little different, but it's going to be a fun group, and I hope you guys support them. But I will tell you this: enjoy the process. I say this every year, because we'll be better in February than we are in November. Trust me. But enjoy the process, because if you really enjoy the process, I usually find out you have a lot more fun when that's the case. So, any questions from anybody? Yes? Kevin broke his hand on a simple drill. He just put his hand into some guy's chest and breaks his hand right there. And I really don't know how it happened, but he'll be back shooting. We did surgery, because with surgery, you can put the screw in there and it heals a lot faster. So he did it. He had surgery last Thursday. He'll be shooting Saturday, non-contact, practicing, and he'll be practicing full speed unless there's any setback at all by the following Saturday. So we should only miss him from the game, which is pretty, I mean, it's unbelievable, you know, how that could be the case. If it healed on its own, they said 5 weeks, so we went ahead and did surgery. Yes, Brett, my co-leader.
How helpful was it having Thomas Robinson work with the young guys last year, like Jamari, so that didn't play last year? Getting work against that kind of talent, how's that help you?
Well, I think Britt asked how it helped the young guys playing against Thomas. I'll be honest with you, I thought it helped Thomas as much as it did. You know, our team, those two kids, the NCAA last year made a ruling on those two kids, Ben and Jamari. They couldn't practice. And were we better later or were we better early? Well, one reason we were better later is because Jamari guarded Thomas every day. And now that made Jamari better, but it made Thomas better because Jamari's not scared. Everybody else, you know, all Thomas has to do is, do that, and everybody but Jamari can do that back at him, and so he made them both better. And Ben, one thing to help Tyshawn, they didn't guard him every day because he was the only one that could. And so that really helped us, our team, I think, when those guys started practicing. Yes, in the back.
How do you see Rio or Andrea coming along just offense, defense?
Yeah. He asked about Andrea or Rio. I don't know what to call him either. Seriously, I asked him one day, you want me to call you Andrea or Rio? And he said, Rio. And I said, okay, Andrea. Because sometimes I get a little upset at him. But if you guys watch him defensively, guarding the ball, only one kid we've had that can do it comparable to him since I've been there is Jeff Hawkins. He's the only one. The only one. I mean, nobody else could remotely guard the ball, heat it up like that. And Bonnie talked about Carolyn's wingspan. Have you guys noticed his arms? I mean, they drag the ground. He's got long arms. So he could be a great defender. Unfortunately, it's not hockey. We have to play both ends. We can't sub out when it crosses the line. So offensively, he's not very good yet. He came in thinking he was great. and then he's been humbled, so now we got to get his confidence back up. So he kind of been broken down a little bit, now we got to build it back up. But he'll be a guy by January, I think, can play 15 minutes a game. I really think so. Yes?
The young man from North High that you said you cannot speak of, is that because you haven't coached him yet, or because you just can't say anything about him?
No.
And if you can, what's he going to do for your team?
Well, we can't say anything until they sign. And kids can't sign until the second Wednesday in November. So I think is that the 13th this year, Bonnie? Something like that. So he'll sign on the first day, I'm sure, and then I'll talk about Connor. You know, it's amazing to me, you know, you think about North High School, Barry Sanders, Ned Woodard, and Frank Camp. And even though Frank Camp isn't in the same class with those other two, I mean, they're the two best that's ever played the sport in their respective positions, whatever. But, you know, he's going to be the all-time leading scorer. You know, Perry held that distinction for 1 year. But Connor's going to pass that and be the all-time leading scorer here in Wichita. Yes?
Can you talk about the expectations within that for Warren?
The expectations for Ben? I think that you should temper yours, to be real candid with you, because he doesn't know what he's doing at all. You know, but he tries so hard. He wants to be coached, and he's a sponge. And he is probably the nicest, sweetest kid maybe that we've ever had. He is an absolute stud, but he's so green and everything. I mean, he is green. But the one thing that you can tell about Washington, there's few that runs effortlessly, jumps effortlessly, shoot it with a softer touch. The kid's going to be off the charts. I mean, he's going to be the best. He's the most talented kid we've had since I've been here. Shady would be the only one that I think that would rival him at the same stage from a raw talent standpoint. But it's going to take him a little time. It's going to take him a little time. He'll have some games of 6 and some games of 20. You know. Anybody else?
Do you have any interest in playing Intrust Arena down here?
Do I have interest in playing? Yeah, I was just interviewed about that. So if you guys can get yourself a NCAA regional, I'd love to come down. I have a lot of interest in it. Us in Wichita State?
No.
I don't want to say never. You know, it's a financial deal though, and you stop and think about it. You know, our football team's going to get good, and they've gotten better. I mean, I don't care what anybody said; they've gotten better. I mean, we could easily Oklahoma State last year beat us 110, and Texas hammered us, and we're a possession away from winning, just a couple of plays away from winning those games. So we're getting better. But until they start putting 50,000 in there every night and raise the ticket prices and all that stuff, we gotta use the money we make off of basketball. I could be wrong, but I think our athletic department generates about $600 a game in basketball. Is that about right, guys? And that's not counting signings, that's not counting parking, that's not counting concessions, that's not counting a lot of things. And whenever you take your show on the road, regardless of where it is, you're gonna dip into that substantially. So, yeah, I would think that there'd be a great chance if what's the name of the arena again? Okay, I know this. John T, do you sit on the board of Intrust? Yeah, John T, if they want to pay us $600 to come down here and play, we'd be more than happy to do that. So. Yes.
What impact have you felt losing the game, man?
You know what? I think from an appearance standpoint, it's a loss. From your standpoint, it's a loss because you're familiar with Danny. Okay? From a national standpoint, we hired the best guy that you could hire. I mean, in Norm. I mean, how many guys have coaches on your staff that have been a head coach at St. John's for 6 years? I mean, there's experiences there and handling of things. So Danny is a big loss, but we didn't. Just because we lost him, people think sometimes we didn't replace him. No, we replaced him, the guy that really knows what he's doing. So, but from an appearance standpoint and from an ambassadorship standpoint, I think that's where he'll be missed the most. Because, you know, one thing that we could sell about Danny at all times was we could go in and tell the mother that our hope is that your son turns out like him. that's where Danny was so effective for us. Yes.
So we've got a new coach at K-State that you have a little bit of history with. What are your thoughts on getting to play Bruce Weber this year twice?
I really don't have much history with Bruce. We played him when I was at Tulsa, and they beat our butt bad. They were awful that day. We played him when I was in Illinois, and we beat them. But he told everybody he's 2-0 against us. I couldn't. I never figured that one out. But I really don't have much of a connection because I'm dead to him. I will say this, and I don't know if we have K-State people here or not. He lost it with me. Frank was great for our league. Frank did a great job. And that he was good. But if you're going to lose him, you replace him with a guy that can really coach. So I say that from a totally complimentary standpoint. I think that I think it'll be different, but I also think they'll be very, very well drilled and well coached. So yeah.
Getting off of the individual, how long do you think it'll take the NCAA to come around and helping pay some of the athletes for the basic, more than they're currently trying to do?
I don't think it's going to take long. I think that was a big topic last night at our talk. I think that they're going to do something to provide some type of stipend or something for the student athletes soon, but it's still minimal though. I mean, what they're talking about is peanuts. I mean, think about this. If most of the kids that we recruit are full at Pell qualifiers, okay? Well, some people in their mind saying, well, these kids are going to get $2,500 a semester because they're Pell, so that's money that goes into their pocket. They don't understand the way they qualify for Pell is that their families have to be poverty level. That's the only way you qualify for Pell. And so let's say a mother's making $19,000 a year. She's got 4 kids at home, so it just totally saves the family by giving the guy a Pell Grant. That's so wrong because what the kids do with their Pell Grant is they send the money home. So that money does not go to the kids, more than likely. Now, we do have some kids that make bad decisions. You know, tattoos are real important after you get Pell Grant money or something like that. But in all honesty, there needs to be something significant that's done. But it needs to be flat across the board. Like the Big 12, if we can afford to do it, we do it. If the Missouri Valley can only afford to do 50% of it, they do it 50%. So the people you're recruiting against have the same level playing field. But it bothers me, and I said this last night. Did any of you guys travel with us to Omaha, St. Louis, and New Orleans last year? Okay, you did. Okay, I'll ask Paul. You did. You probably flew private, charter, I know that. But you and Suzette went, right? 2 people. How much money did you spend on all 3 trips? Guess. 10 grand? 10 grand. That's driving to 2 places, and you spend 10 grand. What about Hoboken, New Jersey? That now they've got to spend, they make $19,000 a year, and now they got to spend a minimum of 10 grand just to be able to see their son. When that son is helping the university make millions. So that's not right. So at least do something and let, like, if a football team does well enough to go to a bowl, shouldn't the mom and dad be able to watch them play? They should do it. I mean, so there's got to be something that's done. And I don't understand why it hasn't happened yet, but it's going to happen. I mean, that's going to be a good move. So. Anybody? Yes?
How many deep do you expect to play this year, ideally?
How many players deep?
Yeah, what would you like to get your rotation down?
I would love to start at 9. That means 4 bigs, and because we're going to foul. If you watched us play in the past. Really, Thomas was the only one I cared about not fouling. He took it to a whole new extreme by not trying to guard anybody. But if we could get 4 bigs and 5 perimeter players, and know the 4th big and the 5th perimeter player is not going to play much, but that would be the perfect world for us. But then by middle of the league, it's 8, and then by the NCAA tournament, you're playing 7 and filling in just 2. That's why the depth situation didn't really hurt us last year that much, because we were lucky we didn't get hurt. That right there was probably the situation. And the other thing that hurt us before those 2 kids got eligible, the lack of depth cost us we at least have competition in practice. So. I'm getting the hook. I know what, hey, I'm not a great public speaker, but I got a hell of a lot more laughs than you did. There's one right here. Was it the update on Zach? Zach's still the same status quo. It's the weirdest deal ever. I'm seriously, I hope he plays, but I don't know if that he'll like he goes out and shoots and can't lift his left arm above his head. So we don't know. But it's not, they keep saying treatment, but it's not surgery, something you want to handle surgically. So I don't know. What's that? We got 4 commitments, so I mean, and we got plenty to give. So don't think that we're oversigning, because there's been some situations that can be massaged that and we may have 1 or 2 leave. But I would say max is 7, but 6 is a nice number. I like the number 6 right now. We can get that. Last question right there.
Can you compare the young self on the team this year with his father when he was a freshman basketball?
Hey, I love my son. In all honesty, Tyler was a pretty prolific scorer in high school. He averaged 3.9 a game. I wasn't very good, but I about doubled that. But the best thing about that, truthfully speaking, and this is corny, I get to spend time with my son. It's the coolest thing for me because he wants to be his own guy, and I'm letting him be his own guy, and he's got to find his niche with the team, and he's got to find a way to put his handprint on it. He's figuring it out in his own way, and nobody's really helping him. He's kind of got to go through that stuff, and I love seeing it. But the bottom line is, I get to give him crap every day, and it's something that we all take for granted. Jamie and I just talked about it. We've all chased him, and you look back and you kind of feel like you got what you want. You look back and say, where has it all gone? Where's the time all gone? And this is the chance I actually get to get back some of that time. So I'm so excited about that. Last thing, I know what you're thinking. Well, I got a new contract, so I should do all this myself. But I am going to ask you for some money, okay? I am going to ask you for some money. So every year, you guys very generously provide gifts for families in the Lawrence area that won't have Christmas. And of course, we're doing this even before Thanksgiving. But it's a pretty cool deal. Our guys will shop for them and get the Christmas list from the families on what they would like, whether it be mothers, fathers, sons, daughters, whatever it is. Some of them won't have enough money to eat, so we buy them turkeys and that kind of stuff. You guys have always, we ask all the round ball clubs, if you feel led, not asking for a ton of money, but Megan here will have some gift bags, and if you want to drop some money in there, that would be unbelievably kind and awesome, and something that we would all appreciate very much. And we do appreciate you very much. Thanks so much for having us.
Well, I've only been at one place, and I don't plan on working anywhere else, but we're so fortunate to have Bonnie and Bill, how personable they are, how honest they are, and coming to deals like